Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tips for Artists by Gallery Owner. I'm your host, Robert Marcy. I'm joined here with Bill Montana.
Hey, how is everybody tonight?
Good.
It's going to be an interesting one. For those of you who don't know me, I run the Orphanage Gallery in Dayton, Ohio, which is a zero-profit gallery movement. Just did the day before this one. If you look at the YouTube blog there, you will notice a big program on the Orphanage Gallery as a new model. Check it out and give you a bunch of information on that. The Orphanage is a little different. Let me explain just real quickly what that is, and then we'll get into our tips for artists. From a gallery owner, we're a zero-profit gallery. We actually converted this gigantic hallway we have. It's like, wide, 50-some feet long, with 14-foot ceilings, really nice walls, into a gallery. And we use it to promote cultural production from artists around the world. And we charge no commissions on any sales. So if an artist sells something, they would keep all the money from the work sold. We have no submission fees, which is an amazing thing. And we're not pay-per-play. So check that out if you want more information about what the gallery is. It's in the Orphanage, a new gallery model, the Orphanage. About a 40-minute program there. You can listen to all that, get all that information, so we don't have to go into it here. We created this gallery as a part training gallery and an actual functional, gallery art space, right? It's modeled after the early 1980s New York gallery scene, where the guy would say, look at a building, and go, hey, we can put a gallery there. Boom, let's put a gallery there. And that's what they did in New York in the early 80s. It was just a basic, hey, that worked for a gallery. We can put a gallery there. Okay. So we put a gallery in there. But we're doing it as a completely non-monetary value. Okay. So we're able to show a lot of works that the other galleries aren't able to show, right? Because they have a monetary thing they have to make. So what I'm saying is they have to show a little bit more commercial work, where I can show a little bit more cutting-edge, experimental, and just generally interesting work. And I can get a lot of artists venue to show their works. That's kind of cool. I can also host pop-ups, from out of state. So there's a lot of benefits to having this type of zero-profit model. Plus, we're really doing it for our money. We've all got our own businesses that run pretty well. This is like a little side thing, kind of a hobby project, conceptual project anyway. But it's been going on a little over about a year now, I guess. And we've done, 15, 16 shows already. And works have sold for relatively good money, High three figures. I mean, not bad, We don't usually sell stuff over 1,000, but there's works that have been sold approaching that. And that money went straight to the artist. Now, when you're trying to do cultural production as an artist, you need to find places and outlets to where maybe you could put a work in from time to time, right? Show it. Maybe if you sell a piece, the money goes to you. What are you going to use the money for? Well, pay your studio rent, your art studio rent, pay some bills, buy more materials to keep doing what you want to do. That's what the purpose of what I've started is for, okay? Is to help newer artists and actually some, more established artists. I mean, one of the guys that's in a couple of the shows was a former studio assistant for quite a while for Julian Schaubel, Keith Haring, and George Condo. Three of the major players in the 20th century art market, worked for him. And now he's been, 30 years later, still doing art. I mean, still painting. But he's doing it for himself. The idea that we can use this as a training model or training gallery is perfect for, one, guys just coming out of art school. Guys and gals, actually, We can host maybe their first real show of their work, of the real work, not the student, model where they were, forced by an instructor to paint a certain way. But we can show their debut works, their actual real core works that will become their life's work. I get opportunities to do that all the time. It's really kind of neat too, because we get to see what we return. Is it new? And some of it may not be all that new. Some of it may still have a lot of that academic flair to it, but some of it that comes in is quite new. Is it good? I don't know. It's so new that we don't know that yet, We don't know what the market's going to like or don't like. That's not our call, right? Our job is to present it. So that's kind of what we do, right? So as a training gallery, one of the big things we do is we teach new artists how to hang works for display, how to interact with the new audience to see the work, basically help them get the work out there, right? And we're doing a lot of this through the free social media platforms. You can find us on Facebook, even the Orphanage Gallery, Dayton, Ohio. But none of this need to go flood me with submissions. You can also send submissions if you want to Bill Montana Artist on Facebook. I'll get them and I'll take a look at them when I have time. Just make sure, or you're going to email me. That's probably even better. And Bill at BillMontana.com. It's my artist website. I'm not a website designer, by the way, so I'm a little rusty on that. Because I'm old and, I never really paid attention. I was too busy working on the road with Robert, doing the thing we used to do, or I used to do. I wanted to give some of you new guys coming into the scene, and some of you old pros and stuff, a few tips, pointers from what I've seen over the years, or many years. I actually, quickly, I owned my first gallery in '86. Let's not go there, but let's go to now, the stuff I've seen over the years, right?
Uh-huh.
And I want to provide them some really useful, solid information that they can use for the rest of their life. And that's the purpose of this very program. So is that good enough for an introduction on that, Robert?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure, because you are my co-host. You keep me in line when I'm going off.
No, you're good.
Okay. Now, to become what is listed as a known artist, okay? This is the big one. You have to get your work seen. You think there would be a great secret to that. There's not really seen, okay? You can't sit in the studio all day and hope somebody will come and discover your work one day, and then then you're made. Okay, that is probably the worst platform model that you could possibly use to enter the art world, right? Because while you're sitting in the studio, there's a million other people out there doing what they should be doing. It's like I tell all the new guys that come in, look, there's a million artists worse than you, and there's a million artists that are better than you. The ones that make it are the ones that get noticed. And how do they get noticed? They get seen. They get their work seen. They're out. They're in the public. They're not hiding in their studios all day. You show the work in their Instagrams, Facebooks, Twitters, other social media platforms, wherever they can find. But they have to be seen. Mm-hmm. Right? Me and Robert came out of the magic and mentalism schools. We both had professional shows that traveled around. I did psychic stuff. Robert does hypnotism. Currently working out of Las Vegas. Nice one. Yeah. But the thing is, right, Robert, and you can attest to this, even in that business, you have to be seen.
Oh, absolutely. No doubt about it.
Now, I remember the early days, you used to go out and do talks on various subjects, like, related to what you do, for Rotary clubs and stuff. I mean, it's crazy, Yeah. But that started to get you seen. You started building that reputation. You started getting shows. Same thing applies to art people. It's the same thing I did when I went out on the lecture tours. It's the same thing. You have to be seen. You have to have your work seen, and they need to see you, okay? Unless you're, Banksy. Then nobody really cares because the work's selling for good money anyway. But you're not. So you need to be seen, right? You need to have your face out there. How to get into galleries? That's the big question, right?
Mm-hmm.
That seems like to be the ultimate question anymore. Granted, I get to say yes a lot, okay? I do occasionally say no, and I'll tell you why in a moment. But the reason I get to say yes a lot, one, it doesn't cost me anything. Even if it does, I don't care. If I think the work's worth showing or has some kind of interesting merit, I'll show it, okay? Period. Unless you're ridiculous. Now, here's what I mean by ridiculous. Some of those things that you got to pay attention to. You do work. It's decent work, but you would have absolutely no name, okay? Mm-hmm. Nobody knows who you are. You've never sold a painting, yet your stuff's worth $50,000. According to who? You see my dilemma?
Uh-huh.
I'm not even going to show that type of artist, right? I will show an artist who is selling for $50,000 a piece and has an established record of paintings being sold at $50,000. Absolutely, right? Because he's not wasting my time. He actually sells for. That's what he sells for. It's fine, right? Got no problem with that. Mm-hmm. But a new artist coming out of the gate that's trying to get, like retirement money off a single work, no. I don't even want to be around you people, right? Because you're a waste of my time. And you're wasting everybody else's time, too. Because you're not really serious about what you're doing. I mean, you may act like you're serious, but you're not. You're playing games. Game theory players make it. Game players don't. Do I need to repeat that one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Those that play, those that play the game properly can make it. Those that play the game, well, the career basically, sometimes referred to as a game, just to be playing, playing weird games, no sales,
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing you got to look at, how many paintings have you sold? And this is up to the artist. How many paintings have you sold? What did they actually sell for? Not what did you price them for, what did they sell for? Because I know, as an artist myself, and I'm going to give you a solution to this problem in a moment, but here's the problem. You got a piece hanging on a wall. You got maybe, let's say hypothetically, $500 on it. All right? Sound reasonable? It's a nice piece. Maybe not your best, but it's good. It's reputable for what you do. It's $500. And somebody offers you $300. You try to get $450. They offer you $300. You take the money. Why? Because you needed the cash. We get it. Okay. The collectors get it too. They do. They really do. But you sold it for $300. That's what the painting sold for. Okay. Painting is sold for $500. It's sold for $300. That's fine. That's a great place to be, right? Because now you have an established track record of selling at least one work for that amount. Does that mean all your work's worth $50? No. Does it mean your work's worth $3,000? No. Does it mean that the general average of your work's worth maybe $300 a piece? Yes, it does.
Uh-huh.
If it's in that same style, same media, same size, yes, it absolutely does, right? So if that's what you're selling for, you're good, right? You can make a career out of that. You may not sell a whole lot. I mean, art is one of the things that's kind of hard to sell. But it can be done, okay? So look at what you're actually selling for. Don't make up weird numbers. Don't make up fantasy numbers. We don't like game players as a gallery owner, I mean, even though I'm running a no-profit gallery that helps you guys, not me, puts puts opportunities for money in your pockets. I can't stand games. You know what I'm saying, Robert?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I can't take the games, man. No. But here's another tip. Use quality materials. Okay. Now, that could be a problem for some of you because I know some of you like to use craft paint. And craft paint's okay if that's the best quality stuff you can afford at the moment, okay? But the collectors that I personally know, that I personally have offered paintings to, that have personally purchased paintings, prefer quality materials. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Like Utrecht paints, golden paints. They can actually see the difference, and a lot of them know a lot of the colors on those paints, and look at it and go, oh, looks like a mix of Utrecht golden and Guerrera. That's lovely. So, don't underestimate your art market, thinking that the collectors don't know anything, because the fact of the matter is they probably know way more than you will ever know. And they're also the guys who are going to be buying your stuff, hopefully. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely.
So don't give them cheap materials at a really high price, unless those cheap materials are what you made your entire career on, like in the case of like some artists that use construction materials. A lot of those construction materials are not expensive. Okay, but they're established using those materials. That is kind of the exception of the rule. But so try to provide, I don't necessarily like the word quality in art, but I think it's been overused. But, it's quality, by a lot of the galleries, but we tend to use it. Give them the best work you can for the best price you can, starting out. Now, as you're establishing and your prices start going up, give them the best work you can for those prices, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Now, let me talk about this too. There's I'm on a lot of the forums and groups and stuff for art, and I constantly see, I'm going to say once a week, how much should I sell my stuff for? That.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look at their work. Because certain styles of work do carry a premium as opposed to other styles, and we know this. We're cool with it. And you're like, very little actually. I'm sorry, you're using 16 by 20 canvases, store-bought with really cheap paint. The work's interesting, but it's not really that great, You're not going to get big money. And you're not known. But they think in their head they should be selling at $20,000. Excuse me? Where did you come up with this number? So, be practical. That's basically one of the big first things, okay? Be practical. Be easy to work with. And here's another thing in this modern age of selling paintings online. Pricing. We're going to get into that, and we're going to get into it right now.
All right.
Pricing. You put a piece up. I don't care what piece it is. I don't even care how much it is, okay? But if you say for sale, put a price on it. Put a number on it. Make it realistic based on the information I've already given you, but make it a realistic number. Don't hide your numbers. Certain galleries will hide numbers of paintings because they'll sell to one person at one price, they'll sell to somebody else at another price. And that's ridiculous. The collectors know this, and they're not interested. You know what I'm saying? But when there's a price list, name the person, here's the painting, here's what position as the wall is on it, and here's the price. We'll look through the price list. And they go, okay, $800. What's this? Oh, this one's $900. Okay, that's $400. And then he's got these over here that are $25 a piece. I'll take 4 of those, please. And then I'll go back and buy the $800 piece. Yeah, I've seen it. I've done it. Did it with one artist that sells so rapidly, I call him Red Dot now. Straight up, I just call him Red Dot. I was like, hey, what's up, Red Dot? You walk into a show 5 minutes after they open, and 90% of it's already sold. We're trying to fight to get a painting, you know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. But the work's good. The work is very likable for some reason. We're not really sure why. But, you know, God, I know. I own like 7 or 8 pieces already. I bought 5 at one. No, I bought 4 at one show, went back and bought another one. They weren't expensive, but they were great for the money. They look good in the room, too. But this is what I'm saying. So be realistic on your pricing, but put a price on it. Here's why. We are in a mass information society, okay? The no price point, yeah, that was good back in, what, the 80s? This ain't the 1980s anymore, people. And then we had prices hanging on the wall. Now we're in a position where, hey, if it's a $50,000 work, put $50,000 on it. If it is really a $50,000 work, if your work really sells for that, put it on it. Say it's $53,000. You might have a buyer out there looking to buy a piece, thinking you're going to have $300,000 or something ridiculous, and he's not interested. But he's very interested at $50,000. But you don't know that. You know, you don't know that information until you put a price on it. There's a couple artists online right now I can think of. I'm not giving you any names. They put out something on, say, $85 edition of 10, or they're 80 figures, 10 paintings, or, you know, 150 piece. Good luck getting one. You know what I'm saying? I tried to buy one. It was an edition of, it was a pretty cool piece. Literally, it was like 85 pounds. Edition of, I think, 60. I got over to his website trying to click the buy it now button 1 minute after they went on sale, and they were all sold out. Got a following. Good work. Got a following. People like his stuff. People buy his stuff. Fast. Apparently. Tried to buy another one from the same guy. Sold out. 52 seconds.
Wow.
I'm waiting for the collect kids, you know, had a little bit of a slow net issue that day. By the time they got, you know, loaded the page, man, it was already sold out. Like, wow, that's incredible. And they actually sold. You know, I mean, he wasn't making stuff up. They actually literally just sold out. Happens all the time. But so if you don't put a price on your stuff, everybody thinks you're crazy, right? You know, if I ask him how much this is going to be, he's going to tell me it's, you know, it's a $4,000 or something. You know, this guy's thinking it should be about $300-400. Well, you know, when you tell them it's $300 or $200, what do? Buy it, right? There's, you know, in my opinion, in art, you know how many starving artists there's actually been during the Impressionist period?
No.
1. Vincent van Gogh. That's it. 1. He's the only one that was actually starving. The rest of them were making millions. When Renoir died, it was worth like $7 million. Okay? That starving artist model, that was all based off of Van Gogh because it was a romantic idea. They could sell it as propaganda. Okay? Artists, you don't have to be starving anymore. Do I even need to repeat that? You don't have to starve anymore. But you do have to get your head out of your ass and price your shit correctly. To be blunt. Okay, so that's on pricing. Now, here's the thing. And I'm going to cover this, and I'm going to cover it as brutally as possible. Are you ready? Don't price your stuff by the inch.
Uh-huh.
Do not price your works by the square inch. Don't do it. And I'll tell you why. A lot of the noobs that don't know what they're doing when they're collecting, they might fall for it. But a lot of the hardcore real collectors, they look at work and it's priced by the inch, and they can figure out it's kind of like an easy metric. It's 10 by 10, and it's $100. I wonder if he priced that at $1 an inch. They won't buy it. Right?
Right.
You won't buy it because it looks like you priced it at $1 an inch. Because it says to a collector, you don't even have enough experience or enough knowledge or believe in yourself enough to put a real price on this work. You're just doing some weird mathematical calculation to figure out, well, it's a single wall on a 10 by 10-inch piece, and I think it should be $100. Well, great. It's fabulous. Nobody cares, dude. The buyers aren't going to buy it. I'm going to give it to you straight. They don't buy it. They don't like the price, buddy. Well, I price stuff at $2 an inch or $1 an inch, and that's how I price everything. It's all, per inch, all the way across. Screw that, Don't do it. One, it devalues your work. Two, it sets up a very bad parameter. That parameter is, I'm going to try to explain this as carefully as I can. Strange. Okay? Not every work is equal in value. Okay? Some works are on some works are on canvas, okay? Maybe the big work is on canvas. It's on $100 of the canvas, okay? Other works are on Belgian linen. I don't care if they're acrylic or oil, it doesn't matter. Maybe it's on vintage lead prime Belgian linen. They cost you $800 a square foot, okay? But if you price everything in your shop, in your studio, per square inch, but you say, well, that's an exception. That one's a little bit more because it's on blah, blah, blah. You look like an idiot. You're losing customers. You're losing clients. You're losing buyers. You're losing collectors. Can I say it to you any other way? Don't do it. Now, you can use the base price of $1 an inch or X per inch as a rough idea, ballpark price range kind of thing. But only after you know what your hourly rate is based on your studio cost and your materials cost after taxes. Then you can have a real number to put on that $1 an inch thing, or $2 an inch, or $10 an inch, or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, does it seem reasonable to you?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, it doesn't make any sense, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because, let's say, we're doing a stage show again back in the day, right? Back in the day, I'm doing a stage show. Okay? And I tell them it's, hell, Jesus, that would be a lot of money. I don't even know how to figure out how much my labor rate would have been per unit. Probably more than most of you guys will make this month. There's a lot, dude. But I just set a rate, okay? We didn't price them by the minute. That hour of performance will be $3 a minute. It'll cost you $180. And if there was old industry magic, and a lot of magic is like that too, by the way, they'll price themselves that cheap. And Robert and I, not happening.
Yeah.
You'll find this at the coffee shop spending that kind of money. It's ridiculous. Because we're not going to do it. I mean, we know better,
Uh-huh.
I mean, even when you were doing like a weekly theater gig show, right?
Mm-hmm.
You were several $100.
Oh, absolutely.
You were making, what some guys do 5 shows for. I mean, 1 show. But it's a different style of quality, too. So don't price your stuff by the inch. It's just ridiculous. And don't buy those 16 by 20 paintings. Those canvases. I don't care if they're on sale. Don't buy them. 16 by 20 is a terrible size. It's an odd size, people. It's a really odd size. I've seen a total of, in 30-some years, I've seen maybe 10 paintings in the 16 by 20 inch size that actually looked good. I've seen probably 10,000 that look like hell. Do you see what I'm saying? It's not size. I own about 1,000 works of art in my collection. I've been collecting for 30-some years. It's not like I give the stuff away. I hold on to it for long periods of time. You have about 1,000 works, including notebooks, sketchbook, prints, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Not a big deal. A lot of it I bought early on when the prices were really, really low for a lot of emerging artists. And some of it, some of it didn't. Some of the stuff that didn't still as good as, the day I bought it. It's great stuff. And I don't care, because I didn't pay that much for it. I got a great deal. I mean, $20 for, a used painting. Who cares? But here's the thing. Out of those 1,000 works I own, 16 by 20, I think I got maybe 5. And maybe 5. But they're in that size range. I got another collector friend of mine up here. That is probably 500 works. I asked him one day, how many 16 by 20 inch paintings do you have? He says, God, man, I don't know, maybe 2. I asked another guy I know has got he's probably kicking it close to 5, maybe more, 500, maybe more. We don't really know. We just don't know. We know he's got a massive hoard. You know what I'm saying? Like us, but he has a massive hoard. And I've seen a lot of it. He's got maybe 1 or 2. That take anything? And we're talking about just 3 collectors. 3 hardcore art lovers. That we'd buy art before we buy food. That I have 2,000 works, and there's maybe 10 paintings that are in that size. Okay, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. You understand what I'm saying? They don't sell. If we're not buying it, they sure in the hell don't sell. So don't do it. It's a waste of time. It just really screws you up. Don't price it by the inch. Put a realistic number on it. Because here's the thing. From that realistic starting point is where your prices will climb. So, you're going to do what? You're going to do a $1 increase per year, maybe a 50-cent increase because you can't get this through your head as an artist. This year, my work's $1 an inch. The next year, it's $1.50. And then, when's it actually going to be worth real money? You're using that model, you will never sell a painting for $100,000. Right?
Yeah.
Because none of the collectors that are buying your work will ever pay it. Because there's no reason to pay it because it's $1 an inch. The worst case scenario, can you give me a painting that's 1,000 feet long for my space? 1,000 square inches or 100,000 square inches. Here's 100 G's doing a big mural size painting. Don't do it. And then, some people go out there going, well, I price everything at $1 an inch. I do fine. Yeah, what's the most expensive painting you ever sold? You know what my second question is? How many paintings from other artists have you bought? You know what the answer to that is? None. I'm an artist, and I own 1,000 works by other artists. Not 1,000 artists, but 1,000 works by other artists. Some of these artists I collect in series and multiples, like I get 10 or 20 works of, right? Because it's good work. And I like the guys, okay? That's the other thing as a collector. I'm talking to you as a collector, not as an artist. as a collector. Collectors like to meet the artist that's doing the work. Now, we don't necessarily want to hear the intricate babble. Okay, the story behind it's cool, but we don't want to hear the babble. We don't hear the, well, this is a touch of postmodernism with new expressionism, but, no, shut up. You don't even know what you're talking about. We don't want to hear that. We want to hear the backstory, Unlike what you would get from Howard Hodgkins, because you see the painting, but you never really, you made the title, the painting, but you never get the backstory. In a way, that's kind of interesting, right? We like meeting artists. We like, going over to an artist deal, looking around, maybe buying something. But we do that if the artist is behind his basement, going, I'm the genius of the next century. Yeah, and then if you're dead, they'll find your work and it might be worth something. And that's lovely. Or it might not. Sure. Or it might end up in the dumpster because whoever's cleaning out your estate gets this shit. Trash. So that's a bad model, you know what I'm saying? That whole psychology there, I think, is terrible. What is a good psychology is to be seen. Okay, so let's talk about approaching the gallery with your work.
Okay, and before you do, I just wanted to give you just a heads up that we'll have to wrap this up soon.
Okay, how long we got?
How about 5 minutes?
All right, that's good. Robert's also my timekeeper, so if you hear Robert on the other end, he keeps us on schedule.
That's right.
Okay, approaching a gallery. Here's a couple things. Don't walk into a gallery with your portfolio. Cold. Bad idea. They're not going to take a look at you. And the reason, they don't know you. They don't know who you are. Right? Mm-hmm. So you're actually better off attending gallery shows. Being seen as a person, as a decent human being, as a nice guy. Okay? If an artist is a pain in the ass to work with, even though they may be under contract to do a show, there probably won't be another contract. Right? Mm-hmm. Nobody wants to deal with the headache. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Like in the entertainment business, Robert. Do you want to work with guys that are hard to work with? No.
Work with guys? No.
Yeah, they're not worth the time.
Of course.
So don't be hard to deal with. Be open to suggestions. Be open to maybe some criticism. Be open to ideas, right? You don't have to act on every idea. Okay? Mm-hmm. Let's say a gallery owner gives you an idea, a suggestion. You don't have to take it. But you know what you have to do? You have to think about it. Even for a few minutes. Give it some thought. See if there's something there that you may be missing, right? Mm-hmm. Being hard to work with doesn't do anybody any good, okay? If you're in a gallery show, let's say you're in a gallery show now, right? And they look on your social media, and you're not promoting the show you're in, do you think you're going to get any other shows anywhere else?
No.
If I look at an artist, let's say I know an artist that's in this show over here, anywhere, he's in a show in New York, in the city, okay? I go to his website, and there's not even a mention that he's in that show in New York. He's a new artist. Mm-hmm. Not good, man. Not good. I remember thinking about it. I might got a call to pick the show, the touring show up, or a whistle stop through town here. I'd be like, nope, I'll pass. Why? Because he's not advertising. See, you got to think of it this way when you're in a gallery, right? Yeah, they're taking 50%, and they're doing something for you, right, for you specifically. And they're doing something really cool for you, actually. They're giving you an opportunity to be seen, maybe make some money, get a better reputation. They're doing a lot for you, but you're not doing anything for them in return. That doesn't seem right. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The minimum to do would be what? Put a flyer up for the show. Hey, I'm in the show at it. Now, if you look online, you'll see the better artists always posting about these other shows. Not only theirs, but the shows other people are in, their friends are in, other galleries in their area. You know, this is how you become known in the scene. You know what I'm saying? Helping people. And that's why I get to say yes a lot, because I run a gallery that helps a lot of people do this kind of thing. But, you know, you need to get out there. You need to help people. And we'll come back on the series later on, either me solo or with Robert or another host. And we'll give you some more tips later on, since we're going to end this one short. But, yeah, so there's a few tips, a few straight-up tips. None of this weird, well, you should price your stuff by the inch and, you know, be a loser. No. If your work's $500 and $5,000, nobody cares, dude. But we'll tell you this, and we'll end. The more expensive your works are, the less buyers, and the harder they are to sell. Okay? There's only about, I'm going to say conservatively, 10 buyers that can buy a painting for $10 million or $50 million. $50 million. There's maybe 5 that'll buy a painting for $100 million. On the flip side of that, there's maybe a couple million that can buy a painting for $25 to $500 or $5,000. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So as your prices, collectors go down, there's one artist I know, I'll give you this tip real quick, sells paintings for $1 million. He has 200 people on his waiting list. 200 at $1 million. Pretty good, man. You know what I'm saying? He's never gonna starve. He ain't poor either. You don't have to be poor anymore. You don't have to. That was a scam. They got you bought into this fartsy thinking. No, erase that from your vocabulary. If you run a studio, you are basically a business person producing a product, and this product is for cultural production. And cultural production is probably the fastest growing market on the planet right now. Everybody wants handmade goods. Can I say it any simpler?
Sure.
Right?
Not really.
They're tired of the mass market crap. And they don't want to go to the big box stores and buy a print for $200 or $80. Have you seen the print prices in those places? It's ridiculous. For print that's poorly framed out of China or something, they'd rather go to an artist, even a local one, in their own area, find something they like and go, $200. There we go. Let's buy that. Because that's going to be, there's a story behind it. There's something behind it. There's something real behind it. There's intent behind it. It's just a different animal. You see what I'm saying? So when we change this series up and we start thinking correctly, we start getting places. You know, and the biggest one, don't be a pain in the ass. When we're trying to work with you. And I'm working for you for free in most cases. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
You're not a member of my stable of the artists I represent. You know, I'm putting you in a gallery situation, a nice one too. It looks pretty good. Well, some photos running across the screen there. And I'm not getting paid. And you're going to be a pain in the ass? We're going to have issues right from the get-go. So no, don't be that guy or that girl, you know. Don't be that one. Be easy to work with, you know. Some of the most successful artists I know on the planet that are getting paid, if I could get in that ring and get that kind of money, I'd love it. You know what I'm saying? Because that'd be like a new McLaren every other day. It's off the hook, and we'd have a whole collection. Easy to work with. Really, really genuine. I mean, they got certain things they like a certain way, but overall, I mean, they're just happy to be around. You know what I mean? They're happy to be able to do what they love and get paid for it, and get paid very well for it, too. So you don't have to, be that I'm an artist, I'm, Mr. Ego. Well, no, nobody gives a shit about you. That's why we buy this crazy little chick over here, right? Because that one's an asshole. This one, we're not sure about. We think she's insane, but the work's interesting, so we'll buy it. And she's easy to deal with, and she's got fun to hang out with. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a big secret right there. Nobody seems to want to talk about. They seem to want to talk about, how hard they are to work with. Nobody wants that, man. Chill out. But, I'm kind of an old hippie anyway. So, the old hippie crowd that's buying art still, we're definitely not into that. You know what I mean? We're more into let's listen to some Grateful Dead and kick back and do nothing. Relax for a minute and chill. Chill it, people. We don't want the headache, man.
Oh, no.
Especially as a gallery owner, I don't want any headaches. I want you to show up on time. That's another big one. Show up on time. We have an appointment at 1 o'clock. Be here. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or if you're stuck in traffic, call and say, I'm stuck in traffic. I'll be there in 5 minutes. Okay, fine. But I don't want to be waiting around going, is he going to show up? And remember, this is a gallery where I'm not taking any cuts. That's an unusual concept in itself. There's no commissions. You know what I'm saying? But just do what you say you're going to do. If you say you're going to do something, do it. Hit the gallery shows. Get seen. With your paintings, be seen in the gallery, meet other people. Start making a network of people in the area, the really cool ones. Invite over to a studio party, an open studio night or something. It's like, oh, it's so hard, I can't do it. Well, you're making excuses, okay? Every time you get ready to move a step or two forward, what do? You make an excuse, you fall 20 steps back. And then you make more excuses while you're back there. Quit making excuses. I set up a gallery, I don't know, what is it, 20 or 10 by 50, it's like 500 square feet. Doesn't seem that small when you look at a 50-foot, shotgun hallway that breaks off and around, 14-foot high ceilings, no money. Well, a couple $100 out of our pocket to buy some, like, drywall mud and some supplies, but, the hallway need to fix up anyway. It's all in the other program. Let's wrap it there. We'll get back on this, and we'll give them some more stuff later on. But this is fun. I just want to, tell people, help some of these new artists that are not paying attention.
Wow.
And let me close with this. Ask yourself, if you're new, how many paintings have you sold? And if the answer is 0, you might want to change what you're doing. Or if the answer is so low it's unacceptable to you, you might want to change what you're doing, because that love model you're working on ain't working. Sorry. It's not working. Because if it's working, it'd be working, but it's not. So change it. Get seen, get known. Be the artist guy. Who cares? Whatever. Artists got a great life, man. We can hang out in our studios all day and create stuff. Well, what a great life. We don't interact with a lot of other people a lot of times, but we're hovering in the studio, doing that insane work we do. But when you're not in the studio, take time to go out to shows, get to the art fairs, See what's going on. See what's working. See what you like. See what you don't like. Hit the museums. Immerse yourself, right? Because back in the day, I'll close with this. Back in the day, when me and Robert were into the magic and mentalism thing, Robert, what did we do? Day and night. We immersed ourselves.
Yes. Intensely.
Because this is what we wanted to do for a living. You were at that time, you were doing trade shows and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I was doing some trade shows back when there was a trade show market. If you're a magician or mentalist, the trade show market is dead. And the big agents aren't booking anymore. Get you some of that. Yeah, the New York agents aren't booking you. You know what they say? Oh, that's boring now. Wake up call if you're a Magic and Mentalism. That was for you. Just give you a heads up there. Before you wake up one morning and go, oh, God, it's too late. I might as well kill myself. Might as well pull a Chung Sue on stage. I'm going to give it that rifle the other way. I need to be taken out on stage. So let's make the history books. Because I'm basically a failure at this point. Because I missed it. The agents weren't booking. Same thing in art, right? But here's the other thing with galleries. What's just popping in my head. Find galleries that your work fits into. If you're an abstractionist, one that does abstract work, do not try to put your stuff into landscape painting galleries. It doesn't fit. They don't have a market for you. You're wasting your time. Can I say it any other nicer? It's a waste of time. And if you're a landscape painter, I'm ending with this, Robert. I'm ending with this. If you're a landscape painter, big landscapes right now are hot. They sell. I talked to a gallery owner out of Texas. Big landscapes are rocking. I'm not talking 24 by 36. I'm talking above 72 inches at least, 96 inches one way and then tall, you know. He can't sell them fast enough. The small landscapes, the little 8x10s, the little tiny, little cute landscapes, he's got them stocked in a room. He can't sell them. Big landscapes are selling because they're building a bunch of lofts. But we'll get into that on the other episode. Shut me up, Robert. Shut me up, or I'm going to keep talking.
All right. Okay. Well, let's end it right there. But one point I just wanted to make is that, yeah, Bill is right. You really got to love what you're doing. You got to immerse yourself into it. I mean, whether it's, magic or mentalism or art in this case, you really got to be into it. You got to have that flaming passion that it is you're doing. Because otherwise, then it's just gonna be something they just do for just for kicks and not much is going in.
That's fine. That's a big chunk of the art market, but that's fine. But yeah, get immersed into it. Get in and learn as much as you can. You know.
Yeah.
The more you learn, the more you earn. Warren Buffett, baby.
Yep, exactly.
And and he's not talking about like book learning. He's talking about getting out there and learning stuff that's new and exciting and keeping it fresh. Keep it real. Keep it involved. Be involved. Be in the market. Be a part of the market, not looking at from outside the window going, I wish I was a big artist. Yeah, smash the window, crawl through it. Do whatever you got to do. But, with figuratively, not literally. But be a part of it, right?
Yeah.
Make it happen. The only one that's going to be able to make it happen is you.
Yeah.
And you're going to do that one person at a time, face to face, not over an email. Get out there, be seen, man. Be seen. Kick your, if you're on social media, Facebook page under your name, and you don't have a artist page, get one. Right? Post nothing but art on that page. Get on Instagram. It's free. Just do it. Put the time in. You're not going to see results immediately. That's okay. That's not why you did it. You did it to be seen. You know what I'm saying? Be seen. Easiest way to make it in any business is be known.
Yep.
Be seen, people. Don't hide in the cupboards and going, in your little, your weird little art world, and that's fine to have one, But be seen. If you want to make this into a career and a living for yourself, if you want to do art for a living, you have to be seen.
Yep.
There's no other way to do it. And nobody's going to walk into your studio, Well, eventually they will. You know, when you don't pay your rent and you're in the studio because you're dead, somebody might find you. I'm another one that pays rent. Call the Moors. Let's get him out of here. Get this place cleaned up so we can rent it again. Yeah, your big moment of discovery. You're dead. Yeah, it's great. What about all the time you wasted? You know, yeah, do a practice. You know, have an actual practice where you work from this hour to this hour every day. You know, that you set aside for working. Work. Actually work. And then part of that, you know, break down a section of that, 10, 15 minutes, social media, being seen, going on our shows on the Fridays or Saturdays or whatever it is. You know, show up.
Yeah.
If me and Robert didn't show up, we would still be unknowns.
Yeah.
In an industry. You know, in the magic minimalism thing. Now I'm a living legend. Robert's on his way to being a very well-known comedy hypnotist. What more can I say? You know? That wouldn't happen if we weren't out there. Get out there.
Right.
Be focused. Figure out a plan, and I hope you figure out a plan on a couple of future episodes of this. But anyway, Robert's got to run. He's got stuff to ease. For those of you who don't know, Robert's in Las Vegas. I'm actually in Ohio. Calling you from outside the gallery right now. So,
right.
And Robert's probably packing to get a plane to go to the next gig. Anyway, thanks, Robert, and wrap us up.
Definitely. All right, and this wraps it up. And stay tuned for the third installment where Bill will reveal some more information, and we will keep this going. So until then, we will see everybody until then.